Hello, welcome to The Varied Life, and here's what we have. We have the Mandalorian himself. Alrighty, we are back, and again, we're taking a look at Mando here. We got some pretty good details in there. We're going to do some more details, and you might have noticed this little green thing here. What I ended up doing is taking some green stuff that little epoxy, whatever, clay stuff that hardens up. And I didn't like the fact that this rifle was just hanging of its own accord on the back of the cape. And I was like, you know what, there needs to be some type of strap that holds it. So yeah, I kind of put a little strap here, and I think we're going to end up painting that to make it a little bit more believable, because obviously the green doesn't work. Whether I like this or not, I don't know. We got to paint it and see what happens. I think we'll paint it kind of a tannish color, maybe a little bit darker than what we see on the stock there. I think the stock turned out really well, especially with that wash and putting little streaks in there. So we see like we've got some wood grain. So that's kind of a neat little technique that worked out fairly well. So for the most part, I think we're pretty much there. We're going to do some more detail work. I think what I'm going to end up doing is kind of like in these places here where the holster's at, I'm going to put some dark wash, real dark, to kind of show shadow in that area. I might even highlight some of this stuff, like corners of the pouches with some lighter tones. And I might even go through here and add on the high spots a little bit of white, but I don't know. I think that works out really well with just the light that we have, but maybe I'll add some highlights on there. But I think what we're going to end up doing is we're going to paint this so it kind of looks like a strap of some sort. It didn't turn out too terribly well, but I think we're just going to have to run with that. So what I think we're going to end up doing is we're going to go with the monster brown and maybe a little bit of black. So we'll see how this goes. And then I also did a little bit of testing with some desert yellow and kind of doing some weathering effects. And I'll kind of put that onto the boots and the lower leggings to try to match the sand. And we'll see how that goes. So, find a little space here. A little bit of monster brown action. And a little bit of water mixed in there. And what we'll end up doing painting this so we can get kind of a strap type feel to it. This was my first time ever using that stuff, and it was really different. I thought it would be more at times I thought it would be stiffer, but it actually was pretty pliable, and it took a long time, and it was just very different than what I thought it was actually going to, how it was actually going to work. It seems like it's more for filling in seams and things like that. So I don't know, this might be a lesson learned. So yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, as long as you get rid of the green. But I just didn't really like that rifle just kind of hanging in midair off of his cape, and then, you know, it just really bugged me, especially after myself being in the military, knowing that things like that just can't just magically attach. So I decided, well, let's see if we can make a little strap here, and we'll see how this works. Got a little bit of a overspill, so we got that. You know, at least it's some type of strap for the rifle. If I was going to do it again, maybe I'll print out another one of these and redo it. Like I said, I could probably take this off now, but you know what? I think I'll be okay with this. You know, it's kind of got the strap. It kind of makes sense a little bit, not much. Actually, the strap should have just like went under and then came up over here. Now that I think about it, that would have made more sense. But it is what it is. So, yeah. But other than that, yeah, we've got that going on. Like I said, the other thing I wanted to end up doing was a little bit of weathering on the boots to try to match the base a little bit. And I'll take a look at this. So this is our base. And the base, what I ended up doing, painted everything, had it tan, just didn't really like the texture. And I was like, well, if he's in the desert, I need some sand. So I went to the local playground and got a bag of sand, dried it out, put Elmer's glue, put some sand on there, let it dry, put more Elmer's glue, let it dry. And then for the Mandalorian figure, or, you know, the skeleton, I really wanted that to look like, kind of like an archaeological, an old thing. And so what I ended up getting is some acrylic, which, where do I have that? Oh yeah, here it is. Some ground texture. And I kind of put it on there and add a little bit of texture to it. You know, some rough edges. And then put a little bit of a soft tone wash on there. And yeah, it came out looking kind of like what I wanted. So with the Mandalorian here, if we put him onto the base like this, then what we're going to end up having is he's too clean. I mean, he's got some distressed areas and stuff like that, which is all right. But I think what I'm going to end up doing is adding some weathering to his boots and up on his calf area and stuff, and maybe on his cape a little bit, I'm not sure. But what I want to do, and what I tried, was using a combination of some desert yellow, and I think I also used a little bit, I think it was Monster Brown, matter of fact. And I ended up using a Green World weathering stick, which is actually just foam packing material, and then just kind of put that on there just to see what that would look like. So I've got a little representation of the desert yellow, and then a little bit with the brown in there to try to give it that muddied look. So I think what we'll end up doing is trying that. It almost looks like a rust effect there. Now I do have some dirty down rust effects, but I think that's going to be a little bit too much for what we have here. So let's get another cup. And we'll switch this out, throw that away. And we'll have our Monster Brown, and we'll have our Desert Yellow. So let's mix that up. We'll do that. Mix up our Monster Brown. That off to the side, and we'll just put like a dab there. And a little bit of water. Just gotta drag that in there. bit more brown. It's definitely not like the practice thing that I had. Might be a little bit too much brown. No, that's close to what we have on the base. And you know, that I think about it, you know, we could do the paint, but the other thing we could end up doing is we could also put some sand on him. I don't know how, I've never seen anybody do that, but I don't know. So we got our little weathering stick here, which is basically just packing foam in a tube, and let's just see how this. We can just see kind of see how that works on the bottom of the feet there. Okay. Worst case scenario, we could always just paint over. But let's see what we got here. That dirty look. Yes, yes. Yeah, I like it. I like it. That'll work. Then I think what we'll also do, we'll put a little bit on the bottom here, on this cape. To try to get the sense that it's, you know, been in the wind and kind of a little dirty along the edges. Kind of mute out those colors a little bit. Get a little bit of highlight there. Alrighty. So now that we have sufficiently muddied him up a little bit, I think what we can end up saying is that it looks pretty good. Got some wear spots on there. So we'll let this guy dry and see how it turns out. Alrighty, good stuff. And maybe, I wonder if I should put some of this on there as well to kind of towards the lower end of this. Maybe. I think we can. Alrighty, yeah, I think we're good with that. I think it works out good. So I'm gonna stick him back in there, and we'll wash all this stuff up, and we'll see if there's any other details that we can do. Alrighty, let this dry, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, everybody, here we are, and yeah, so we had some reference pictures to take a look at for our Mandalorian and Grogu print, and got a big picture of Grogu there. Try to do that, and I think what we end up doing is we are done. So time to take the gloves off and call this done. And here is the end result. Okay, so there you have it. There it is, Mando and Grogu. They turned out pretty good. This is not the largest print that I've done in resin printing, and I've only been doing this about 5 months now. Haven't painted anything since I was 12, 13 years old, and I'm 58 this year, so you can do the math. It's been a long time. And even prior to that, when I painted models, it was like paint the airplane gray, paint the truck brown. You know, that was the extent of my painting skills. So this really put me to the test. I'm really happy with the results. Everything from the base to Mando, the skin tones, the little blush, the ears, and the feathering in of the different colors there, the blush on his cheeks and nose. Then the Mandalorian himself with the leather, the armor, the weathering, the shadows. I would definitely, is there anything I would do different? I'd probably do the cape different, because obviously that was, could have been done better, but it turned out okay. It was salvageable. And then the other thing I would end up doing is definitely changing the strap for the rifle. I would spend some more time doing that, and I don't know, maybe I'll do that on a future Mandalorian, but hopefully the future Mandalorians, if I print them out, will have actually a strap for the rifle instead of it just hanging magically onto the cape. I don't know why whoever printed this, I mean, it's a great job, but you forgot the strap. So, you know, it is what it is. So anyway, I just want to say thanks for everybody that came along for the ride, checked out the video and the painting, and hopefully if you're a noob to painting like I was, Maybe you learned a thing or two. If you watched and enjoyed anything in this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. And definitely, if you have any tips or tricks or strategies or video series teaching people how to become better painters of miniatures, I'm all for it. So put that in the comment section down below. The other thing I want to talk about is I apologize for the camera. I'm using an Osmo action camera, and it has a fixed focus lens, so I can't focus in, and that's probably why I was so frustrated, and probably some of you were frustrated in the fact that you couldn't see all the details. Well, the good news is I picked up a Sony FDR AX53 4K camcorder that has an automatic focus, and it also has a manual focus so that you can set the focus, and I'm going to give that a try on the next model, so we'll see how that works. I might need to try to get a monitor to see where I'm at in painting, and the monitor and the camera. I don't know how that'll work, but it'll be definitely a step in the right direction for filming future model painting projects. And I also have other videos besides resin printing and being a noob painter and all that stuff. I do some exercise stuff, there's that. I retired in Korea, so we've got some video playlists on that, some commentaries on stuff. It's just kind of a mishmash, but you know, if you want some more painting videos, be sure to like and subscribe. So I think that's going to be it, and the decision is going to be, what are we going to paint next? I don't know. I ended up doing this little dragon here, and this little dragon is really nice. It's free. I got it off of Coach 3D, and what I ended up doing, what I was originally going to do, was to paint this bad boy and do that as my video. But then I got a hard-on for the Mandalorian and Grogu and just kind of fell in love with that. So I don't know, maybe my next video will be this dragon here, and we'll see how that turns out. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool. I learned some things doing the first one, and maybe I can improve. I can definitely improve on the second one, and especially since it's larger, I think we could get some really good details and do some cool stuff with this. So I don't know. But then again, I mean, there's always the Warhammer figures that, you know, that we could end up doing that have been sitting on the shelf patiently waiting to be painted. And then what else do we have? We got Deadpool, we've got Predator that we got there. I mean, we've got another Alien. We got a Viking dude, we got some more Warhammer stuff. You know, we end up having a cave troll.
They have a cave troll.
So it's not for a lack of models it's just kind of a lack of an idea of which one am I going to paint next and which one I really want to paint next to catch up. So I'm kind of holding off on printing more stuff, but yeah, we're heading in the right direction, so that's good. So anyway, enough rambling on. Again, thank you for watching the video and checking out all of the stuff that we did here, and we will see you on the next video. Peace. So anyway, thanks for that, and if you learned anything or liked anything in this video, give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And if you would, please subscribe to the channel. That will help out, and we will see you on the next video. Peace.